All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Friday, August 17th, 2012. Going to go over all the trades we took in the live trading room this morning and the results. The results are actually minus 7 ticks on the NQ. That's all we had. We had one ES trade that was break even. We had 2 trades on the NQ, 1 win, 1 loss. The win was smaller than the loss, so we ended up down a little bit on the NQ. Before we go any further, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply and sign up for the free trial. With the free trial, you get 5 days in our live trading room, 2 hours per day. You also get access to all of our indicators and all our data feeds and charts and everything else for 5 business days. Okay, www.cfrn.net/apply, and you'll be able to get access to all that. We don't, there's no credit card information required or anything like that. All we ask is your name and email address, and that's just so we can send off the links to you to get you started. It's really a pretty streamlined process. You just have some links to click through, and it brings you right into downloading the whole thing. You get everything that you see here. Everything you see here. Okay. All right. Excuse me. Let's start off with the ES, okay? You can pretty much see the whole ES right here in this little piece of chart. I had drawn at 10 o'clock, I had drawn this trend line in, well, at 9:55. I had drawn this trend line on here, and it pretty much honored that trend line right up to the end of the morning session. All right. The only trade opportunity that we took this morning was a short right in here. Right at the open, there was an opportunity to get long right here, but the YM was going right into a weekly trading zone, so I didn't buy it here. If I had bought it there, it went 1 point in favor of the trade, in which case I would have moved my stop to break even, and it would have stopped me out at break even right here. Once it finally rolled over here, and it started to look like it was working its way down to the weekly trading zone, we put in a lower swing right here, so I sold the next pullback up to the BBC. Right there, I sold it at 14.13 and that gave 1 point profit, and it took a long time to put that 1 point profit in, but once it finally did, I again moved my stop to break even, and it came and took me out at break even right here. All right, since then it's been a lot more sideways action. I think we've had 13 ticks range so far today from the open. I'm pretty sure that's all we've had is 13 ticks in range. So it's been a pretty narrow day. Okay, that was all we had on the ES this morning. Over here on the YM, you see I have the same trend line on there. I drew that at the same time this morning. The same bar closed 9:55 on the YM 500 contract, and that trend line held pretty much all the way through to the end of the morning session. The same exact thing. I didn't short the YM over here, and I didn't go long on the YM over here. I didn't short it because the ES was going into a zone, and I didn't go long because the YM's going into a zone. So we've really been kind of bound this morning by our rules, which is not a bad thing. That's what rules are there for. The NQ. We took a couple of trades on the NQ this morning. We took a long trade right here. Well, let me just start right at the very beginning. What we look for, the trade set up here on the NQ, is when the MA1, which is this blue and red line, crosses over the BBC, which is the green line. Crosses up, comes back down, tests it, and then we look down here to see if we have divergence between the green line and the cycle portion. Okay, if we do get that divergence down there, then we look for an up close or a close in the direction of the trade. We got that right there. I did it again right over here. Now, I missed these trades this morning. I didn't take the trades. When I did see this trade happen over here, I took advantage of it. I got into that trade, and right over here it put in a new high on the day. That's when I moved my stop up to plus a couple of ticks, and it took me out at plus a couple of ticks. There was another opportunity right there that I didn't mention. All right, right there, and another one right over here. All right, that I did take. Now, right here in the first half an hour, there were 4 opportunities. The rest of the morning, there weren't that many. One right in here after the news event. Actually, the news event was at 9:55. Were the news events this morning. once it finally came back down here, this wasn't it wasn't a great trade to take because the cycle was moving up against me when I was in the trade. It closed the window of opportunity very quickly, gave me a couple of ticks profit. Then it went up and it stopped me out to the tick, and then it went down to where I thought it was going to go. I hate it when that happens, but you know what? It's part of trading. So that was our loss on the NQ. There was another one right here. Had we taken it, we would have stopped out on it, but we didn't take that trade. Let's see. And that was pretty much it. There's another one developing right now on the long side, but I'm not very eager to take any trades here on the NQ on the long side with the YM going right into a zone like it is. Okay? All right. Let's see. That is it for the morning. I did outline a bunch of crude oil stuff. We switched over this morning to the October crude. Okay. There were a few crude trades this morning. Let me just blow this up so we can take a better look at it. Okay. Right here at 9:30, we had a bearish cross, pull back up and tested the BBC with a down close. And you see this is the same set of indicators, the same trade setup, the same everything that we just did on the other one. Hang on, I have to sneeze. I'll try to suppress it as long as I can. Okay, and right here we had a bullish cross, a test of the BBC with an up close, and we had bullish divergence down here. All right, we had it again and again over here. All right, same thing over here on the crude oil, right there, and again, right there. Over here, right here, guys, we had a little momentum opportunity when the price started to drop down through right here. This green line, when it closed down in the direction of the strong sloping cycle and in the same direction as the brown line, you could just jump in right there. You can just jump right into the market. All right, and you can see that would have been a nice trade had we done it. Excuse me. Right over here we had a bearish cross, a test of the BBC with a down close, again with bearish divergence. Okay, and over here things started to get a little, I don't know, a little out of sync. You see how we have bearish divergence here, but the MA1 is above the BBC, so we don't have any trading opportunities in there. Now right here we had some bullish divergence. I don't know why that arrow is going that way, but we had some bullish divergence right in here, and we tested the BBC. Tested the BBC and gave an up close, so there was an opportunity to get in right there a little bit. All right, and right here as we speak, there was another opportunity right in here. Okay, bullish cross, tested the BBC with an up close, and that is it. Right now, as you are watching, it is developing bullish divergence. The cycle is up and blue, and the green line is diverging from that. Price is pulling back down to test the BBC. So what we would anticipate here was a touch of the BBC and an up close. Okay? All right. That is what I got. If anybody has any questions, you can type them in here, or you can email us at support@cfrn.net. Again, if you have not taken the free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Okay? And that's all you have to do.